What's up, people? Welcome to this episode of the By the Hood podcast or webcast because I don't know how you're consuming this content. I'm your host, as always. My name is Jimmy, and as we start off every episode, that is with gratitude. Shout out to everybody in our community that's By the Hood University, MDC Strategy, the By the Hood Ownership Camp. We appreciate the support as always. I got my partner in crime with me, Core. What's up, good brother?
Man, what's really good, man? How's everything going, man?
Man, listen, man. Everything is great, man. We haven't dropped a pod in a minute, man. That's because it's a lot going on, man. We out here actually living our raps, man. So just to catch folks up on a lot of things that have been going on. I was traveling. I was in Memphis as well as Arkansas last week or the week before last. Looking at some projects, doing some sightseeing and things like that, but also still working in the business, man. So, since the last time we dropped a pod, I rented out 2 apartments, sold a duplex. So I'm actually trying to do the things that we talk about as opposed to just coming on here and talking about things, man. So things have been very hectic, but we are dropping this pod. This pod right here is dropping on a special day. We generally drop on Wednesdays, but because we haven't put anything out in the last couple of weeks, we're going to drop this one on a Saturday. So we got an early pod, but then we back on our regular schedule weekly Wednesday, man. So, but I've been good, man. Just, trying to stay out the way, man. Just working, man. Actually putting in that good work that we talk about, man. What you been up to?
Getting that good work in.
You all right, man? What you been up to?
Man, I'm working on closing another deals for, I like to do what's the name units. I like to do pre-built cribs. So I'm working on a land deal so I can throw up a pre-built crib.
Out in Texas, right?
Yeah, out in Texas. I'm also still looking for properties in I can't even say the county, because if I say the county, then everybody gonna run to the county and really.
I will leave it alone, man.
But I'm looking for some properties in certain counties in PA still too. Because I grab from those counties and flip those joints, for a little income. Okay. And I'm also I'm thinking about going back to work because I got too much time on my hands. Literally, what I mean, like I've been scouting out places where I could, drop anchor.
Got you. So you're getting settled in out there, being in Texas.
Yeah. I'm looking for a place to drop anchor and help, young minds grow. I'm just not sure, what I mean? Like it got to be the right environment, because the one thing about having enough money not to have to do it is you have enough money not to do it. So if it ain't the right environment, I'm not getting involved.
Man, listen, I heard that, man. And shout out to everybody, checking out this pod, man. We appreciate all the support. I'm noticing like our past pod, the numbers are going up. So that's appreciated. If you can, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you listen to this podcast, because our audio numbers are always way higher than, our YouTube channel. We're still trying to grow our YouTube channel. So if you are watching this on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe and share. Hit the like button and do all that YouTubey stuff, as the good Dr. Umar says. Do all the YouTubey stuff. But this episode, though, we got an interesting topic, right? Because we always talk about indicators of where the economy is going, and people look at inflation numbers, they're looking at CPI and all that. But I was talking to Corey about a different metric to figure out what's going on with the economy. So I'm going to share this article. I will add the article to the show notes as well as a description if you are watching this on YouTube or Facebook, because we put our pods on Facebook as well. I'll put the link to this article here, but this is an interesting way to look at what's going on with our economy, Corey. So let's see how you feel about this, man. A REIT, right? And people say, okay, well, it's a REIT. Who cares? Here's why, right? It's a strip club operator. It's called RCI Hospitality. Their ticker symbol is RICK. This is not investment advice. I am not telling you to invest in a RIC, but I always find this interesting to see what this specific REIT is doing. So their stock is down 9%, you know what I mean, in this last week, right? So it fell 5%, which brings week-to-date losses of 9%. After the operator of adult nightclubs or strip clubs offered an update on its business that lagged analyst estimates. It's a Houston-based company. It also operates Bombshells restaurants, Said that sales came to 74.1 million in his fiscal fourth quarter, up 5.6% from a year earlier, but below the 76.6 million consensus, right? So a couple things. People are saying, why are you calling that an indicator? Why do you think that is, Core?
I mean, that's an indicator of passive income, or not even passive income, but you know, a lot of times when people are going to adult entertainment is money that they use outside of their normal household dollars.
Hey, listen, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck, right? So I was joking with someone on Twitter or X, whatever you guys want to call it, about this. I was like, man, this is the biggest indicator I've seen. I don't care about the other stuff. I said, well, this goes. Listen, having friends who are who are young ladies who engage in this profession, they'll tell you that when times go bad, money dries up there, and they know a lot. They know a lot sooner than the rest of the
They know
world and the rest of
first.
the economy. Especially those that operate in the underworld of this particular business endeavor, right? So, to me, this is just a sign of what's like,
What's coming down the line?
yeah, man. Listen, man. So it goes into a lot of different parts of this article. Again, I will read the article. I don't want to sit here and read the
I
entire
can't stop
article.
laughing, like, because this is a perfect indicator of what's really going
Nah,
on.
listen, man. The shaky butt to tell you a lot, man. And by the way, as a side note, like, not even joking, right? Even when the market or certain things are doing well, you can tell by what's happening in adult entertainment, right?
Yep.
So if I'm trying not to, like, because I know, like, I'm a little immature, so I may laugh, but I'm not trying to be immature when I talk about this, right? But even as it pertains to real estate, I remember back in like 07, 06. As a matter of fact, they documented in that movie, The Big Short, when Bo was in a strip club and the chick was like, "Yo, I own a couple rental properties," and he was like, "Oh, the market is
It's booming.
yeah, it's going crazy." And he was like, "This might be indicated to move, because not only are the average Joes getting into certain spaces, but we got people in the underworld, like, and not saying that all adult entertainment is in the underworld, but there's an underworld of adult entertainment where other stuff happens that doesn't happen in these establishments that are owned by Ricks, right?" But I saw the same thing happen within the crypto space, where I know people who sell particular services, and they're like, "Yo, I got people paying me in Bitcoin." I'm like, "What you mean? Like, for you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like." I'm like, "Okay." But this is how you see bubbles coming, right? You see bubbles coming, but also on the flip side of that, when money is flowing out of these spaces, we've talked about a lot what we see coming up in the next couple of years in terms of the economy, right? And a lot of it is because of the constant money printing. But this is a good indicator, man.
I'm not doubting the indicator, because as someone who partook in that life, um, listen, I may or may not have been to a Rick's establishment. I'm not sure everything they own, but I spent a lot of time in those places as a 20 something, and as a teen and 20 something. Mind your business about being a teen. And I spent a lot of time and a lot of checks in those places, and so yeah, that is definitely an indicator, because when you got a disposable income, that's what I was trying to think of. When you have disposable income, that's one of the places you go. Like, not even trying to be on Young Boy Top, but when Ja Morant was exiled from the NBA, the first place he went was to a strip club to try to get his, try to get his mind right, money right, ready for war. And then they try to expose my youngin in the strip club. My man had like $50,000 in 20s and 50s and hundreds laying around. Them young ladies was getting paid. Everything was consensual, but they trying to expose my youngin. So that one kind of pissed me off. But other than that, like, but that's something that happens. Like, sex been selling since sex was invented. So
Yeah, but also, like, from a cultural standpoint, right? I've been to different cities, and like, I know in the Northeast, the strip club is looked at as one thing, but then when you get to like down south,
Oh, it's a
like
whole different
it's a whole
vibe.
different culture. Like people just
A
hang out there.
whole
Like
different vibe.
food is popping. It's like a hangout spot. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
Like
You just getting served your food by scantily clad young ladies.
yeah, like I know up north is a little different because like we have levels of it. Like
Yeah, as you can still get that up north, but you can get from the grimy to the high
man,
end. You know what I mean? You can
you
get
go to
you
the after
definitely
hours Johnson, some row homes where it's like, never mind.
yeah, man.
Anyway, but the point being though is from an economic standpoint, it's a good indicator.
It is because it's an indicator of disposable income. Like when people have less disposable income, like they don't want to be homeless to give Miss Tootie $150. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To have her sit on your lap. You know what I mean? Like I'm just
All right, y'all.
saying.
So I was trying kind of bring this information to the pod, I'm very immature, man, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like it is, but I'm never gonna grow up. But at the end of the day, though, I also think there's another lesson within this story, right? Is when we start to talk about REITs, because a lot of people have interest in REITs. In fact, at our last investment club meeting, someone was asking us, can we do like a presentation, which we'll probably do next month in November, about how a REIT works, what a REIT is.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, just briefly, it's a real estate investment trust. It's another way to invest in the real estate sector. You
And
do
into the
so,
stock market.
yeah, you do throw through the stock market, right? But within there are different types of REITs. You have REITs that focus on single family homes. You have REITs that focus on hospitals. You have REITs that focus on commercial spaces,
That
retail
focus on
spaces,
towers, that focus on everything.
agricultural.
Yeah.
So it's all kinds of things. But this is something specific that this specific REIT owns some strip clubs, adult entertainment, right? As well as some other things. So just showing how powerful the REIT market can be and the different ways you can get into the REIT market. Not investment advice. Again, I am not telling anybody to invest in REITs. Being transparent, I do invest in REITs, but I only own one REIT, and that's VNQ, which is a REIT ETF through Vanguard, and that's also not investment advice. Just pointing out that there's different ways to get into the real estate space without having to own tangible physical property. There are pluses and minuses of going both. That's not what this pod is for, to break that down. If you wanted more information about that, you can hit us up and we'll break
Yeah.
that down for you.
We can get involved in the
Yeah, in fact, I'm going to do a REIT class in the MDC, our membership group. I'm going to do a whole class on REITs, but just this story was interesting. I think it's something to pay attention to. Also, like, what would you consider some other indicators outside of the general ones that everybody uses in terms of statistics, like like the CPI or inflation numbers or the jobs report? What are some things that kind of, I guess I can put, I don't want to say off the books, but I want to say something that is an indicator to you that may not be something that's talked about, say, in mass media. Let me give you an example of what I mean, Cora, before you give me something that you think of, just to kind of help you understand my question. So this is one, right? Strip clubs. I would also say there's stats that come out about sporting events. I was on a website the other day, and they have attendance, they have concessions and everything from like Major League Baseball, from every arena, going back like 10, 15 years. It was like one of the craziest data sets I've seen, because for one, to let me know just how much money they're getting in concession, and they are killing it. But that's another story. But when you start to see numbers like that, when people are not attending sporting events at the same level, and you see the prices in those tickets come down, to me, that's another indicator, right? And some will say that falls the same as this as strip clubs.
entertainment. So like
It falls under entertainment, yeah.
anytime people start cutting back the entertainment budget, that times is tight because people will entertain themselves for before they pay their bills sometime. You know what I mean?
I've seen a lot of artists have to cancel shows in the last couple months too.
Yeah, that's an indicator. That's definitely one. But
Yeah, ticket sales
outside,
ain't where they were.
outside of entertainment, I just look at the way people shop. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like what they buy, like when money was flowing. It was lobster and shrimp. It was, you know, it was caviar and crab boils all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and now everybody, you know, bringing their lunch to work. And I'm not against the caviar and the crab boils. I'm just saying it just tells me where the money at. You know what I mean? Like really, literally how people eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you got more disposable income, you eat whatever you want, however you want, whatever is the most decadent thing you can find. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like whatever is decadent to you, that's what you eat. But when money is tight, you know what I mean? Them ramen noodles and bar S hot dogs get real, you know, get real appealing.
Yeah. So I mean,
So
that's a good indicator right there too.
yeah, so you know, just how people eat, not you know, nothing against what they eat and how they, you know what I mean, but that's really to me one of the biggest indicators because if people is tightening their budgets to the point where they gotta eat, you know, whatever is available.
Along those lines, though, Core, one of the things I remember from when the economy got real bad last cycle was the lines at Walmart, right?
Oh yeah, they was out the
Because
door.
there are people that generally don't even want to shop at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? But when things got tough last time, I remember like riding through a Walmart and there was nowhere to park in the parking lot. And I'm like, yo, why is it that many people in Walmart? I'm like, whoa, this is where people got to shop now. They don't usually come to Walmart.
Yeah, man.
Um, and Walmart is a beast too, by the way. There's a Walmart in Philadelphia for those that are in the Philadelphia area down Aramingo Avenue, right? They've been there a little while now. But since they put that Walmart there, multiple markets have closed. Um, a couple other like small stores. I'm like, yo, they came in and took so much business that you see all these other things that were surrounding it just closed. I'm like, Walmart's a beast, yo. But it also shows why Walmart, WMT is the ticker symbol. Also, not investment advice. Why they are listed under some of the ETFs that are consumer staples,
Yep.
right? When you see some of the other retail brands, they're not listed under staples. You know, they're listed in the other category, like where
Consumer discretionary.
yeah, consumer discretionary. For those who don't understand, staples are things that people will buy regardless of where the economy is or price. They're things that people need to have. Like there are things in the staples that things like Walmart. I
Pepsi.
know Coke and Pepsi, people will buy them regardless.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But other retail places are listed in discretionary. It's like when people have discretionary income, this is where they'll spend their money. But Walmart's not listed there. Walmart's listed in
Consumer
defensive.
staples.
Yeah, consumer staples. Like staples are defensive. They kind of
Yeah,
use.
same thing.
Yeah, but the bottom line is, those are some indicators, man. But getting back to the main story, man. See what's going on with your local strip clubs. You know, if you got to go make a visit, say it's for research purposes, because you know it's for your investment purposes. You know what I mean? You want to go see what the traffic looks like, but it's a good indicator of what's going on. Um, Leave us some feedback. Let us know. Do you think that we're tripping by calling this a good indicator, or do you think it is a good indicator? And the other question I want to leave you with, what are some other indicators that probably aren't talked about, you know, in the media, but you think is an indicator of where our economy is currently or where it's going? I would love to get some feedback to hear some things that are like, you know, just non-traditional. With that being said, though, man, thank you guys for tuning into this episode. If you're listening, we appreciate that as well. Make sure you also share, leave some feedback. And if you're watching, make sure you subscribe. And, you know, like I said before, do all the YouTubey and stuff. But we appreciate y'all, man. Any last words, Core?
Nah, man, just be good to each other. Don't you know? Don't be a douche. Like just
Yeah.
be good to each other.
Very, very simple. Corey's words of encouragement. Just don't be a douche. With that being said, man, listen, as we always say, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much you keep. Game elevates, and we'll see you guys in our next episode. Peace.